reality of this Sunday, that's the 7th December 2014. This is 21:16. I agree with your runners of justice parties and also with governments. Blessed are with them. That should happen. Precious, blessed are they. But we will do an extended play for opera. It will have around 1 or 1.5 hours during. The ride will be clear of the 3 to 4 voices in the same play to be acting, which will be low, tenor, soprano, and maybe a mezzo soprano. At the reality of what we have been suffering today, and I apologize repeatedly for the term, as forced, as besmirching, and denigration I've been receiving so much, which affects not only my person with this classic situations I don't want. And suddenly, I've taken a time thinking my domestic problem wouldn't be around. And we're no farther 18 minutes, 30 to 40 seconds. I made some requested. There were this little difference on the line. There were this little difference on the harmonics, which were as well requested. Weirdly, just came and got done and eliminated me. All through this, the reality we're stealing, switching out my Audacity freeware, which anybody can download from the net, from Source Forge company. Forget me. And not the reality of this, telling that I will ever have the obsession with them to taking everything out of them, saying that I wouldn't do nothing, I hadn't classic for nothing. And this, the capacity for nothing else to being solo anymore. Degenerados. Policía Federal Argentina, Policía Metropolitana, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Cámara de Comunicaciones Nacional Federal, Telecentro, Kirchner, Claro Kirchner, and Pretended Presidents and Government Information, and Borda Algarviñera, Cuerpo Médico Forense with Expertises of Cristina Kirchner, Gabat Mashashlu Damahiba Ganara. And in the middle of this reality, the clear fact is I've been publishing everything that they do, like they exist, and just like that, and showing it from the first to last. My mother is ill and sick, not crazy, ill more than ever, and terrible to pronouncing. She will herself intimidate me. In the middle of this all, I just produced this. And like everything I done. Oh, we done and he hacked us and he robbed. He's gonna go to jail. Berencana. Perritas enfermitas degeneraditas considered of government and cops. And the whole bodies degeneraditas, perritas, oficialismo Kirchners considered government. And perritas degeneraditas prostitutitas. Medical communities, Argentina considered an authority for with the burden of it. But the reality of the soul just happens what naturally happens. Just these bodies were working and at the other side of the clock. Everybody afraid and saying, we will kill you all and we will kill the International Criminal Code, as Gibson making this to us, officialism, and La Barra, Christina Kirchner. Then, in the middle of this all, forgive me, but this hurts, and worse. In the middle of this all, I just done my play with A soprano, A tenor, and A low. And where the request meant but Belarus, with Israel, Russia, and US, with Uranus, Italy, Spain, France, UK, Austria, and commemorandum for what it were the ran. Then in the middle of this all, I wish I would take more time having kind of a very journey in a very one for around 12 hours working. I will ever sing a very extended time, which I have the capacity, like for about 5 hours singing, just taking a rest, making the most exigent, which will be the tenor, coming for the low, and making a light soprano, which at the piano voice I don't have that gola work because of I am mistrained. But at the reality of Timothy, I can make it in a slide. Then, at the clear of this, I just done it, and I presented, and they pretended to switch it out in Google, YouTube, and saying, he's telling to us it's ours. And whenever they seen it were what I've done, and the evidence is delivered into the justice bodies, the whole of the government's states, for they to corroborate, for what they also accuse as governments to saying accomplices of mine, to robbing to the government of the Argentina and attempting against the government of the Argentina above the basis of Europa, conspiring, using a supposed letter telomere. At the reality of this, they just were at the overside of the regime, with the isolated sighted over Sodoma, Perros, and Farmas, Policía Federal Argentina Metropolitana Fuerzas Armadas, and expertises Perras and Farmas of Perra and Farma, Christina Kirchner, Perras and Farmas Oficialismo, promulgating the whole of the supposed end of them. And in the reality of this all just happened what normally does. Switched out, forged, and pretended to upload in my account saying don't, and telling he rapped us. And we done, not him. And whenever there's something which were requested, oh, but if this is off of key, it's not ours. And suddenly after that, who did he stolen? Who did he stolen this to the United Nations? Means, who did he steal this to? And around, seeking for the opportunist son of a snake that generator, saying, oh, me, I. And after that, oh, we were trying to making a fall, because if we have done this little difference for you to understand, oh, they are. And you know what happened here around? The clear fact of this, and the simplicity for this, is exactly what we just gain every day, suffering. For the reason we're expecting I to just do, and making denounces for I to give more, for they to take more, and making more rape and murder, and making more degenerations and more destructions, and taking more, while more I will do, more denouncing, more making up, more forging, more using, more associating, more points for lives, points for lives, but opportunistic horse that generates Sodoma and any she-doggy hell shit around. And this is justice, place, and this is what I do still here. The reason why if I ever try to make the next riot of Perras, Sodoma, Gomorrah, to murdering everybody around, because I'm living, saying you're not gonna taking your power, that's okay. In the middle of this hill, turns to saying he's a liar. He's crazy, totally crazy. He's lying. He manipulates them from Buenos Aires into US, Israel, Europe, and telling since its riches. And in the middle of this all, also Russia and China. He cannot sing 9 octaves. He cannot have such a capacity and least sing in Belarus, and this is not Belarus usually. In either Chinese or English or Spanish, in either India. Lots of mistakes, yes. My tongues are a budget for my own. It's old. And you recognize that it's consciousness. I cannot be traveling so long. But, maldita perras. And at the middle of this, perrada sucia degenerada expertises of Christina Kirchner, making the premeditations in US, in Europe, States, in Russia, and pretending to come inside Israel. Sending 84,000 perras abominables, Evangelistas Unidas, to make the witchcraft, for they cannot see it into getting inside Israel, to making the kidnap, destruction, and robbing and forging and telling that takes the state. Then, forgive me for the terms, please. The expressions are so long and so clear. That's what they are, and worse. Abominable. Shit. So, at the reality of the soul, I love you, like burning as a present to him, with Adonai, the reality of God. Bless you so much. Bless you, Israel, and I love you with my whole heart. Ever. Bless you, Justice Bodies, Son, your brothers, Mr. President, and bless you so much. Galbet Hamadlech Erishka Sanin, bless you, Amen, and observe the peace of you. Okay. So at the reality of the soul, it were happening that Klepi Kumablecha Chalishachim, in Blabotsu Chalcheritza Chalishachim, and Parrada degenerada, pretender expertises, government of the world, national security, the whole making, the whole knowing. Gods. So, no better, sucia, no more. Sorry. It's worse than anything I got, than this words can describe. Really much deeper words, and really, really heavy. Like the 10 death of the 4 completely together at once with a sympathy like super news. لو تخلي كما بلفخ خليشكيا من دخلها المسؤول. Then at the clear of this, making up with Parrada Sucia Vaginitis of Christina Kirchner and Vaginitis Christina Kirchner about the supposed offenses and talking to the mother and to the family and to the sister and to the psychiatrist of here. And also preparing with, we change hospital, we don't say it here, Piñeiro, Romal de Sucia Víbora, and old Víbora degenerada, considered of government and you. I am the one that knows, and the Generación Borda, making up more crap with the Generación Cuerpo Médico Forense and other about my person, telling expertises, showing us and telling us conscience about life, and with the syringes in the neck, in the arms, let's come over, you need some medication, to responsibles of the government and some of them which we already have, telling you offense and you denier, this never happened, to murder and disappear. This is what this health share looks for everyone. And third to saying that I need it. Litonitol, lexonitol, microina, betranina, bertuina, arfatak, drasala. The treatment that I should be internated and under permanent medication for 20 milligrams first, 8 milligrams the second, 84 milligrams the third, and 14 milligrams the third and the fourth, 14 milligrams. Telling I will suffer Daklipotoremekia and Bartascum Akelium, Brataika Rumbaratu, Traspalatia and Karenia, Merproata Mervati Armora, Breaking Darastia, Almentuma Brafasora in Beriki, Bretinida in Iliac. And perras degeneradas, expertises of perra sucia Cristina Kirchner, would simply say, oh yes, we saw you. And perras sucias regeneradas, Les Humanity Coins for Lives, Bordalea Piñero, Puerto Rico forense, saying, oh yes, through, the same, the whole communities. Excrements like them, and the generados, United Evangelists, saying, oh yes, we know it, we saw it. And the whole civil shit with them. And you know what happened? In the middle of this all, the complete list of Kairan at International Court of Justice and International Criminal Court were murdered here, all through yesterday and today. Murdered. And I have the complete bodies. Even if I seems like Buenos Aires. And in the middle of this all, went to rape and murder. The list is complete of Arvins, with families and all. La perrada sucia Sodoma y Gomorra of perra sucia Cristina Kirchner Tafamensa. And versus saying it's an offense. And officialism complete in the sword and over. And at the reality of the soul, Borda Pinheiro Alvear already submitted with Puerto Médico Forense and the prostitute. No, 88. Bravo, pretender judge. And the degenerate order that pretends of defense her with Graciela Blanco and Aaron Rennie. 4. But we need civil wording into the acts of the law. The family requested, so we gotta act now. 14 governments signatures. And everything in a way in the same government of Israel and the United States of America passed with United Nations form will be created or so on. And when this B words of hell comes with this, it's exactly the hell perra sucia state premeditating the less humanity upon Ami Argentina, Amha Brazil, government of the United States of America, government of Israel, and populations, and also the United Nations, and telling International Criminal Court sent us. An International Criminal Court sent us. And are premeditating to murder them. And saying we take position. And in the middle of this all, at the mechanism, while putting at the whole Jewish objectives, perrada degenerada Sodoma, which rapes and murders all people. La maldita perra Cristina Kirchner, with perra sucia, Nelly de Garre, is she still alive? La perra sucia, secretario de Defensa, Gabriel Torrado, in fact is terrible, criminal degenerado, y la perra sucia, pedófilo, Aníbal Fernández. Telling to control the expertises to the Jewish terrorism, putting them in the whole of the Jewish objectives, in the whole of the soul, for ending the kidnap, rape and murder, but declaring perrada degenerada Sodoma Gomorra, that they are the ones that knows, and they are going to show what it is, but forging and making selective, adivinatory, profanity witchcraft for the arming and making the holes found where nobody can say nothing and controlling for the staging they need to disappear, rape and murder and rob. Dedicated, cerrada Sodoma y Gomorrah of officialism Cristina Kirchner with them to this every day, in Argentina and in the whole of the world. And with this, el mecanismo de prostitución, gobierno de la ciudad de Buenos Aires, considered they to be government. Prostitución, cuerpo médico forense, considered they to be with bona fide. Prostitución degenerada mierda, considered of government of the nation. And civil shit following them. We didn't receive a thing. We don't know nothing about that you said. International Criminal Court, who are they? Where are they? We only attach at the command of the Lady President. And chiefs of police told us we didn't receive a thing. Conscience about this all, and receiving everything and being aware. On the reality of, we just proceed. They, the government, to handle. International Criminal Court wants something. That is the presidents, and the whole of the judges they are gonna see. We just have a job to do because of this is an emergency appeal. Have done exactly the same to Amir and to much others, and permanently. And it's exactly what we're doing to me while kidnapped me, and I dealing with the situation, while making up hilariously any class of attempt shit with cuerpo médico forense and every mercader degenerado Sodoma. And because of the, she judge told us to do this, and she said this must be, because of she's a judge. She's a hell mercader and a hell damn whore of hell. And forgive the terms she is. And a genocide, and a damn mercader, and a damn murderer, and a damn piece of a bastard vermin with the reality of points for lives. And the reality of this, still making the BLYTT with the whole damn shit of Cristina Kirchner, which these are shit. Produced genocide here in Argentina and in the whole of the world, and destruction where around. Piece of a vermin of hell degeneration, and turn to telling to UNASUR and TELESUR and DMR chain, news chains, that I were conspiring against UNASUR complete, and I were a terrible disaster, and I were robbing what each man's and woman's Sodoma y Gomorrah tear, saying where to aim. My last play. That I cannot approach to no stage, no forum, no community, no place because of ghosts to murder people around, saying I am not allowed with degenerados evangelistas. And of course, perrada sucia Sodoma y Gomorrah. And at the reality of the soul, insistence on saying no. This is the commands. And there's the saying, I shall be kidnapped. You understand the term? Kidnapped. No English. Kid, the other person. And I should be attacked up. Forgive me my Belarus English or English Rosim Matkima. Relfachlachim, which there is no Russian place in this. You are going to understand this when I show you the evidences. Forgive me, please. Relvacha libatzak shkot hamalchanim berkumacho klota shvatim. My neighbors heard me all the time and invited to murder and disappear or suppress the neighbors. My mother heard me and saying, oh, she's totally crazy, she's a complice of this, so she's totally delirious, needs medication right now. And disappeared her because of the testimony of her who is show that prince. And the prince, whenever there is a serious professional of the field to understand certain things, and even if there is not a professional of the field, like I know them, and you remember what I told you about. Anyone with a little bit common sense and reality of communication to attach and understanding the meaning, the word, and the intention can simply see where are the points of the real and great and lovely paradise. Then, don't you let them see, don't you let them know, don't you let them testify, don't you let them be seen, known, understood, disappear them. It's what dedicates every day. And while thirst to keep on making the same witchcraft like Franst, the generates, vermins, demons, demonias. So what the reality of this one? Keeps on kidnapping, murdering, destroying, and telling you to live and you want to live here. It is ours. We are going to use this for rape. We have too much opera to do. And this is not the blame of no one we have been touching for the enforcement of the law and also in the realms of magic. Just as it is. No chef, nada. And everyone first of all, which is kind of lost in the form of justice claims his hands so much. And we are doing what attached to you is not to be done. If the reality, like I said from the first, I simply have a name, have a body, existence, and the reality of life. Here's the reason for genocide in the world. There is reason enough. For that same reason, the whole that produces that genocide for the reason of mind. Being I, quality of Israel, quality of El Chai, wrote by himself to the ship that produces the genocide to die. For the whole of the world, and for the reason of El with and off of the reason of life. Then the clear fact is, if I, because of being who I am, and whatever I do, which is not illness, but the generation of manipulation of the perra, Sodoma y Gomorra, brain, brujas, y toda perra oportunista, to be what they says. The reality is, Borda Alvear Piñeiro, cuerpo médico forense creídos, mueran y vayan al infierno. Perra de generación, expertos, Sodoma, Gomorra, Kirchner, oficialismo, vayan al infierno. Y su maldito brain, y sus malditos evangelistas unidos, al infierno. Y ninguna otra cosa se vea nunca más. Shalom. Gelfo Jual Hamal Tlemechiti, Hasbe Khalisha Hanam. Gelbot for Halachinim Bechana. Anshani Lani. Because of if I don't have to exist, there is the reason why to understanding. God himself told me himself. It's necessary God in exist. HTTPS www. Real, unreal, where are we? Where are they? FD RMCDF 41438446 DNT Cis Micah M AUIW KKAE 4841 for point INT, sorry. HTTPS www WNBRMCTF BNBR middle Presidencia Argentina Sur Gobierno del Mundo middle BOERMC middle Protocolar Emergencia Pérdida Ganancia 010344052282874445 middle cis middle PECAR PERKKAR middle so ZHWO 384.20 systems for gold F7 last bleed and cleaner last key and cleaner 21.5 milliseconds. I don't have any mental learning. Bless you, Russia. Bless you, China. And with the problems in understanding the result, the rest is me.
is